From our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Peter Murphy begins now.
Hundreds of Salamanca market stallholders are owed thousands of dollars after being wrongly slugged with stamp duty. The major bungle comes down to an administrative error in the State Revenue Office, which has flown under the radar for 15 years.
Purchasing a site at the iconic Salamanca market doesn't come cheap, with prices maxing out at $200,000. Buyers forced to fork out even more after being incorrectly charged stamp duty since July 1, 2008.
A lot kind of happened in that 15 years. There may be stallholders who have passed or that aren't in the country anymore.
More than 300 businesses are believed to be affected. However, a question mark still hangs over how much they're owed.
It really depends on the value of the site at the time that it was purchased. So it can be anything from $1,000 to a couple of thousand.
The expensive blunder uncovered during negotiations on a new licensing agreement.
It then looked at whether each person who moved to a different location would have to pay stamp duty. And what has transpired is that they don't, because they never should have been.
Small Business Minister Madeline Ogilvie understands the State Revenue Office is looking into the matter and is confident any wrongs will be righted.
I just encourage everybody to go and speak with the State Revenue Office to find out if indeed an error in their account has been made.
But stallholders say there's an easier road forward, calling on the office to release a list of people impacted and fast-track their fix.
If State Revenue has to field 600 calls for people who think they might be eligible for money, I suspect that that's going to be a fairly big burden on them as well.
The Stallholder Association doing its best to contact those entitled to a refund in the meantime. Brianna Boylan, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmania's approach to supporting victims of sexual violence has been revolutionised, with a new support centre now open in Launceston. The building putting police and support services under the one roof, helping to reduce the stress victims experience.
For victims of sexual violence, the journey to recovery is tough. The trauma at times made even worse when they reach out for help.
They've had to retell their story to numerous government agencies, to support services, and that has had a very negative effect on their healing journey.
We have failed victim survivors in the past.
A state government initiative aiming to change that experience. Police, support services and government departments united together at the Arch Centre.
If they're seeking justice initially, or support services and social workers who can walk alongside them.
When a victim attends one of these centres, they're getting that wraparound support and they're not telling their story a number of times.
Most importantly, victims only have to tell their story once. From the interview rooms through to how police dress, each aspect aimed at making a confronting process less daunting.
All our police here are in plain clothes. You probably won't be able to tell the difference between a police officer or one of the counselling staff.
With the Commission of Inquiry into Child Sex Abuse reporting back soon, previous efforts are expected to face significant scrutiny. The government confident this is the beginning of a new and better era.
A new way of connecting, a new way of providing a place for people to tell their stories.
My hope for the Arch Centres is a place of confidence and a place of healing.
Hobart Centre opened last month. John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
There was traffic chaos in Launceston this afternoon after debris was spilled onto the street after a 3-car crash at Kings Meadows. It's believed a Mitsubishi rear-ended 2 other cars at a busy intersection on Hobart Road, later coming to a stop after crashing into a brick wall. Quick-thinking bystanders rendered assistance and traffic control until emergency services arrived, treating people for multiple and varying injuries. It took around 2 hours to clear the scene. Tasmania's football community has welcomed the new grants program to soccer. It's hoping to claim its share of the funding pie as more budding Matilda stars prepare to strap on their boots.
We are the most played team sport. We've got lots of pressures across the state and we want to really get access to more funding to make our facilities more fit for purpose.
Football Tasmania hopes the cash splash can help prepare them for the expected uptake next season. Sue Fraser supporters are calling for an independent inquiry into the convicted killer's sentence. The group made its voice heard at a rally in Hobart today, claiming it's a crucial step in determining whether a miscarriage of justice took place. Independent member for Nelson, Meg Webb, also highlighted the need for an Australian Criminal Cases Review Commission.
That would provide every state with a backstop, essentially, to be able to properly and appropriately deal with questions around miscarriage of justice.
The government says the Neil Fraser case has been through the appeals process and has no plans for any further inquiries. Tasmania is taking on a new leading role with our surf lifesavers to take charge of swift water rescue training. The state will be a home to a national centre of excellence, readying volunteers from around the nation for when the next disaster hits.
They keep our beaches safe during summer and swimmers between the flags, but our surfing heroes can do much more than that.
We can help the community outside of our flags and go, right, we can help in floodwater.
Tasmanian volunteers are among some of the most highly respected swift water rescue crews in the country, helping in multiple flood emergencies at home and further afield.
Our guys are rescue ready and it just gives us another arm to be able to help with emergency services.
Surf Lifesaving Tasmania has been excelling in this area for a number of years. They're already delivering internationally recognised training for lifesavers.
Now it's Tasmania's turn to teach the mainlanders a thing or two.
We've got plenty of flowing water that we can use and the natural habitat that we can train in will prepare lifesavers all around Australia and beyond.
A nation-first, state-of-the-art centre of excellence will set up shop in Devonport, going full throttle on flood and swift water rescue training.
It's a great initiative and we're looking forward to making sure that we have the capacity throughout the Federation to help more communities in times of need.
This nation-leading centre will be a real beacon for the next crop of first responders coming through who will be saving lives in swift water and flood rescue.
It's hoped the new skills will ready volunteers for when the next disaster strikes.
We're trying to get as many lifesavers through as quickly as possible so that we're ready to respond when we're called upon.
Surf lifesavers here in our hour of need, no matter the season or disaster. Victoria East 07 Tasmania News.
The Tri-Mannaroos are bouncing off the walls after winning their first grand final in 21 years. The team dominated Campbelltown from the beginning, up 13 points when the final siren blew on the 2023 Oatlands District Football Association season. Tri-Manna's own Mitch Reeve judged best on ground.
They're going to be victorious. Siren goes, Tri-Manna, 11-13-79 defeat.
The win, a hard blow for Campbelltown, which has been runner-up for the past 2 years. And it's been a perfect end to a special day for one legend of the Bracknell Football Club. Josh Holland notched up 450 senior games in style, booting a few crucial goals for the Redlegs.
I was lucky to get on the end of a couple. 450, actually pretty proud about it. A few years ago I never thought I'd probably get there.
And to make the milestone match that little bit sweeter, Bracknell proved too strong for Bridgenorth, winning by 46 points. In the TSL, Kingra has all but secured the minor premiership, downing North Launceston in a thriller this afternoon. In other matches, North Hobart stunned Launceston in a ball over, while Lauderdale had a big win over Glenorchy.
For North Launceston and the Tigers, this match had more than the 4 points rating on it. The Tigers got the first two majors before a home-side recovery.
45-degree angle, Maccas called it off already. Let's see how he goes. Gets round, gets good distance, kicks the goal.
The Bombers eventually edging in front.
Oliver Dean kicks towards goal and he kicks it for North Launceston.
Kingborough finding its bite in the third with 3 early goals.
Carter sets, good hands. Here it is, off the ground, it spins, it goes. It's a goal.
As tempers frayed, the Tigers took a lead into three-quarter time. But Brad Cox-Goodyear got the Bombers off to a dream start in the fourth.
He does, he hits up his coach. Cox-Goodyear, play on, it's the start they need. He's pumped the fist and they've done it.
In a seesawing contest, the two premiership favourites traded the lead. 2 goals from Jack Tompkinson, however, proved decisive.
Kicks towards goal, Jack Tompkinson has kicked the goal.
Ollie Dean gave North Launceston late hope, but it just couldn't find one last goal. The Tigers sneaking home in an epic thriller. However, it finished on a sour note with a post-siren clash. Their likely meeting in the final shaping as a tasty affair. At North Hobart Oval, the Demons started well against Launceston, leading at quarter-time. The Blues found their groove in the second as spot fires broke out around the ground. But an upset was on the cards when North Hobart fought back to lead at the final break. The Demons were able to hold their nerve, recording a famous victory. And Lauderdale went about ruining celebrations for new TSL record games holder Josh Arnold with a 5-goal-to-none first term. The Pies finally opening their account in the second, but it was a first half to forget. Lauderdale up by 5 goals at the main break. That dominance continuing after half-time. Lauderdale too strong for the Pies, cruising to a comfortable win. John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
In the Women's Super League, newly crowned champions South Hobart were held to a goalless draw by Clarence, while Devonport defeated Launceston United 2-0. In the NPL, Kingborough's hot streak continued with a vital win over Launceston City, a goal each in half, giving the Lions the 3 points, helping them cement their place in the top 4. Last night, Glenorchy and South Hobart played out a 1-1 draw. South appeared to have won the game until an injury time goal gave the Knights a share of the points. To hockey, and Canterbury's men's field has defeated University 3-2 in round 19 of the Premier League. University started out strong in a frantic first quarter, putting the first goal on the board. The teams were tied at the 9-minute mark and again in the second quarter before Canterbury made the winning shot. Meanwhile, Canterbury's women's team also outpowered University, winning the match 2-1.
Today, Hobart 17 degrees 18 in Launceston and Devonport, with minimum temperatures 1 to 2 degrees above average in the north, Burnie 16. The state's top recorded at Eddystone Point with a very mild 19 degrees today. St Helens and Friendly Beaches 18, Maria Island, Grove and Bushy Park all 17, Flinders Island 15, 14 on King Island and for Low Head, Strawn 13, Luncheon Hill 11, just reaching double digits for Laiwini today, managing 10 degrees after an overnight low of -1 degree. Overcast low-level cloud is seen over the west. High-level cloud is developing over central north and northeast, contracting over Flinders Island. High-level cloud lies over northern Tasmania and a band over parts of Cape York Peninsula. Scattered low-level cloud sits over parts of the mainland's southern shore and western Tasmania. The rest of Australia is relatively cloud-free. Tomorrow, a high-pressure system centred over northern South Australia extends a ridge over the entirety of the country, sparing the western coast of WA as a cold front approaches southwestern WA. To coastal waters, westerly winds 20 to 30 knots, although slightly less in the east. The west and south can expect westerly swells up to 5 metres, southwesterly swells up to 4 metres offshore in the south. Firstly, there is a severe weather warning for this evening for damaging winds in the southeast, east coast and Midlands forecast district rather. That severe weather warning continues also for tomorrow. There is also a gale warning between Tasman Island to Low Rocky Point and a strong wind warning between Sandy Cape to St Helens Point to include Banks Strait and Franklin Sound, another for the low east and central west coasts. Tomorrow, Hobart, cloudy 16 degrees 17 in Richmond and 15 for Ooze. Launceston, partly cloudy 17 to the top, 16 in Devonport and similar conditions in Deloraine with 15. Cloud continues in Burnie, expecting 14, showers and 13 in Strawn, winds easing in Curry. St Helens and Swansea partly cloudy 17 degrees, mostly sunny skies in Whitemark. As we approach another week, Monday showers about the north and west, otherwise fine elsewhere. Tuesday showers mostly contracting to the west in the evening with possible hail about the west. Wednesday showers about the north and west with possible light showers elsewhere. Taking a look now to the mainland tomorrow, Darwin, sunshine of course, 34 is the top there, also sunny skies in Sydney and Brisbane, showers and 17 in the city of Churches, 18 and cloudy in Melbourne. And currently it's mostly cloudy across the state this evening. 14 for Hobart, 13 for Launceston and 12 for Devonport. Murph, have you been promoted or I'm not sure what's going on?
Kai, I haven't been promoted for 40 years, but I've got to say that's been the best weather segment I've seen all week. Now that's all our news for now. Thanks for joining us. I'll be back tomorrow night. Good evening.